I my first experience with mushrooms was probably an ill-advised one that I do not recommend for anybody. Um, I had taken a dose that for someone's first time is probably inappropriate and was far too much. Um, Yet I had a great time, and me and my friend did it maybe in the worst setting and in the worst way possible, and still came out the other side like having one of the best experiences of our lives. And so it was like this double-edged sword of a bad idea that just turned out very well. I think it was just something that I had discussed with my friends before. I was just curious and like experiencing an altered state of reality and seeing if it was something that I enjoyed. Um, I'm the type of person who just kind of likes to try a lot of different experiences and a lot of different things, and I think my friends, in a way, encouraged that, and we all kind of decided to do it together. Um, I don't, I don't take mushrooms that often. I'd say it's like once every couple of months, like maybe every 3 months. I definitely feel like it's something that if I were to take it too often, it would kind of change my perception, at least at like higher doses. And usually I take like 2 or 3 grams depending on what my intention for the trip or kind of experience is. Um, yeah,
Have you have you ever tried microdosing?
yeah, I have tried microdosing for
How
like
often do you do that?
that was kind of like an experiment I did for a few weeks last semester, and I just kind of wanted to see. I was in kind of a bad spot mentally, and I was really looking for kind of a change, and um, I thought it was pretty helpful.
What did that look like?
I had these chocolate bars that like gave you a specific like dose. It was like one triangle per day, and like it kind of laid out how to do the microdose. Um, and I think it made me able to kind of separate my emotions and my thoughts a little bit more, and I think I was able to kind of more objectively look at what was going on around me before I reacted to it. So I wasn't like as emotional in each of my reactions, and I could kind of it gave me a moment of pause and like the ability to kind of think and appreciate what the situation was before I reacted.
Did you think about continuing?
I thought about continuing, and then I ran out of mushrooms. Yeah, I definitely have. I think it's something that can just kind of allow you to step away and see a different perspective on something that's going on or something that you're feeling. And I definitely think that they would be something that'd be useful for me um, if I was able to do it in a way that was kind of regulated by someone who knew what they were doing instead of by myself. Um, and I also think most of the times that I've used them in a more like traditional like tripping way has also been good experiences, and like I'd almost describe it as like a timeout from everything that allows me to like reframe my life and move forward in a different way.
Do you feel like you know a lot of people who feel that way?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I do also know people who do have bad experiences with mushrooms pretty consistently, and I obviously don't know why that is, but I think that some people are just more predisposed to having different experiences, just probably with different brain chemistry and everything like that. But I do know a lot of people who do feel that way and feel like mushrooms have given them like an extra an extra view into their life. Yes, I think I use them in a productive way. I usually really try to be careful about when and where and like why I'm doing them. I like to go into whatever, amount that I'm doing, or experience that I'm kind of doing them in with a purpose, and I like to kind of know what my goal, I guess I'd say, of whatever the trip is or the microdose or whatever before I do it. And I think having that intention kind of helps me not do it as often in a way that would be unhealthy, and also not do it in places that would give me bad experiences, or do bad things for me.
Do you feel like, based on what you know, do you feel like college students in general tend to use them in a productive or responsible way?
That's a tougher question. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people do, but I've definitely seen. I feel like a lot of people do use them in a productive way, but I've seen a lot of people who see them as kind of like a party drug, and in a lot of those scenarios, like, I think that there's a power that mushrooms have that when you almost like don't respect it, can eventually kind of lead you down a bad path with that specific substance. And I've just seen like some people, not completely, but kind of their touch with reality kind of changes due to like just intense overuse and like using them in bad, I think, settings.
Yeah, good answer. One last question. Does the legality of psilocybin change your attitude towards using it?
I think it does. I think with the fact that if it's legal, I think also research can be done into it, and the way that its effects affect people, especially on long-term things. And like, I think as more of that kind of research comes out and people kind of understand more about how mushrooms work due to it being legalized and it being allowed to be studied and used in like more medicinal and like structured ways, I think for me at least, it will give me a different guideline for how to use it and how to incorporate it into my life.